my beautiful cozy babes, and welcome back to the Cozy Babes Club. I'm your host, Chloe Taylor, and today I'm just dropping in for probably a little bit of a quicker episode. Y'all realize it is a late Sunday service, okay? Usually we are a morning girly. We are up at 4 o'clock in the morning for your Sunday paper delivery. But we're doing a little bit of an evening cast today because your girl just had a busy week. All right. So apologies that the episode is going out a little late today, but we're still here. We're still popping. We're still thriving. We are still here with that big, juicy energy. Today, I really wanted to address in a singular episode something that I did get asked in the Big Sister episode, but I chose to not put the questions in because I wanted to give it its own episode. And basically, I got asked numerous times about letting go of friendships that don't serve you, or knowing when a friendship is over and wanting to let go, or cutting ties with people, etc., etc., etc. There are so many ways to go about this. There are so many ways in which you can decide to pursue a letting go, a severing, etc. But I wanted to start because I felt like when I was reading today, this was just like so pertinent. I think that's the word I want to what y'all were asking. And so I want to read to you first and then we'll discuss from this book is called Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. I recommend this book. I will link it down below to anyone out there that is struggling to think that you're worthy of creating your own life on your own terms, whether that is going after a vision, a goal, a dream, a plan, or just creating life on your own terms, period. I feel like this book just has so many like little pros in it about how to go about that and why you should. But ultimately, this is from page 150 and it's called Five People. And it says, Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of five people you spend the most time with," which is a pretty powerful statement when you think about it. Vibrationally speaking, if you have a group of people, the highest vibration and the lowest vibration will always cancel each other out. So if you are constantly spending time with people who bring you down, you will be brought down. If you are spending most of your waking hours with people who don't take your dreams and beliefs seriously, you are most likely to start doubting them too. Likewise, if you surround yourself with people who think anything is possible, it will rub off. When we are on the spiritual path, we are in a constant state of growth. This can mean that we outgrow relationships that were once a big part of our lives. When this happens, it's hard to not cling on. However, the tighter we try to hold on to people who are no longer an energetic match with the life we are called to live, the further away from our true path and our true selves we stray, and the further they stray from theirs. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve us doesn't signify a lack of love. Rather, it is the opposite. There are times when we need to let go and leave space for new people to come in. Some people come into our lives for a moment, some for a chapter, and some for a lifetime. If you follow your true path, you will never be alone, for it will be filled with people who are walking right alongside you. And I just need to say, from my own personal experience, this is the most true thing, okay? I don't know if it's because I've had like a lot of 11th house activation this year, especially this year, but even in past years, if I look back on my life at times that I've gone through friendship transformation, it has always been during a heavy 11th house transit for myself. And whether it's for good or for bad, I really do Jupiter max everything, which, if just a little bit of astrology info, if you don't know, your rising sign, whatever the planet is that rules that sign, is your chart ruler. I'm a Sagittarius rising. I talk about this all the time. And because of that, Jupiter is my chart ruler. So whenever Jupiter is doing some shit, like I'm really paying attention to that. And I'm always out here Jupiter maxing. Okay. I'm always out here like everything is always working out for me. Even when it's not working out and it feels like everything's terrible, it's always working out for me. I feel like people that have this energy about them tend to like, you fall down, but you get up like 2 seconds later. Like, and I do feel like I really have that. I am somebody that I never allow myself to stay down. And I bring this up because I feel like I have been through a lot of really heartbreaking friendship issues over my lifetime. And I feel like surprisingly, having dealt with a lot of that, I have not let that set into me as a notion that I'm a bad friend or that I don't deserve companionship or I don't deserve friends. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it is a huge red fucking flag when you experience things in any relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, there are like abusive relationships. That's not what I'm talking about right now. So those of you that have been in like abusive dynamics, this what I'm saying right now does not pertain to you. But I do think it is a big red flag outside of the confinement of abuse when we have a lot of relationship issues with close friends or what have you. And like when you hear somebody talk about this and they never take accountability for their part in the problem. I can confidently say that most of my relationships in my lifetime have ended due to a lack of communication. They have ended due to a lack of communication, to both parties being afraid of hurting the other person. And I think something that I have come to realize now is that when you actually like say the thing that upsets you, when you go to somebody because you're feeling some type of way and you want to make things better, somebody that is a good friend would want to hear it. I would want my friend to tell me when something is wrong. And hopefully, we can come to a place where we can work on it together. And if I'm feeling triggered or upset or what's the word I'm looking for? Not detached, not deflective, but combative. If I am feeling defensive about something my friend has come to me in confidence to tell me is like hurting them, I need to work on that. I need to sit with that and ask myself like the right questions to get to a place of understanding where my friend is coming from. And it just I feel like so many of, like, past friendships that I've had could have been the conflict could have been solved so easily if I had been able to handle sitting in the discomfort. I feel like throughout my 20s, I let go of a lot of friendships that served me at one time, but then started not to as I evolved into the next version of myself, and whether it was for good or for bad, that doesn't really matter. It's that I feel like when I look back on those time periods in my life, had I chosen to stay the same and stay connected with those same people, I would be a very different person. I am a very positive person. I can find the silver lining in most things. Not to say I haven't experienced depression, not to say I haven't experienced things that are really sad and heartbreaking and like the homie has been down, okay? I have been down for the count before. But for the most part, me as my best self, I am like that scene in Nightmare Before Christmas where Jack Skellington, who I really do believe is a Sagittarius, he's like laying on that grave after they shot him down as Santa Claus and he's like, "What have I done?" And then 30 seconds later, he's like, I am the Pumpkin King, blah, blah, blah. That is a Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius energy to me is like, we can kind of always positive max. We can always like find the silver lining, make a joke out of what is happening. Sometimes that can be bad, but I think oftentimes it like serves me well. And I feel like it's difficult for me always, always. I have such a hard time spending time with others who are in a constant downward spiral, who are constantly like tuned into the news, constantly tuned into everything that is wrong with the world. Every time you bring up something exciting, they have a reason why you should be afraid of that thing. And I have experienced this numerous times, okay? Even my own, and to be honest, I think what it really boils down to, if I could be so candid, is this is my mother. My mother, I feel like whether she knows it or not, can be a very nervous woman. And she definitely, like, even from a really young age, I've had to work through a lot of like weird fears that did not come from me. I feel like, granted, in today's world, in today's landscape, you can open your eyes and look at the news and find something to piss you off every single day. Multiple things, guaranteed. But I just don't want to live my life like that. I don't want to live my life like that. I get one life, and I don't think that that means that I don't care. I don't think it means that I like put my activism down. I don't think it means that I'm not invested in things that are important. But number one, and I've said this before, my social media platforms are not for that. My activism is for my daily life, my actual community in my town, and my close friends. That is where I do my own activism. I am not here to do online performative activism. And so, like, I bring that up because I do think in today's digital age, there is this landscape of like, have fun, be happy, be positive, but then like people also want to tear you down because the state of the world is constantly in crisis, and how dare you be happy for a second. And I say that in the under the confinement of friendship as well, because I feel like it's easy, to be honest, in today's world. It is easy to not be happy. It is easy to not be positive. It is easy, truly, it is easy. It is hard to maintain a level of joy, thirst for life, excitement, high energy, happiness, positivity, building people up, seeing the good in people, seeing the good in humanity, the good in society. It is difficult. And I feel like because we live in like this cloud of fear mongering, I don't know where else to put it. I'm not trying to be out of touch. Like, I just feel like at the end of my life, if I was on my deathbed today and I was talking to myself, I would be so disappointed if it was just me constantly glued to my phone, doom scrolling, talking to the five people I keep around me that are also doom scrolling. Like, I would much rather have conversations about other things and be friends with people that are on that same trajectory. And I also want to say, I don't think it is about having an echo chamber. I think we do need to be very mindful about that with friendships in particular, because I love a same, same. I love a down bad bitch. Okay. Down, no, not down bad. I love a bitch who is down. Okay. I love a bitch who's like, let's do this side quest. Let's do this together. Let's hang out. Let's go blah 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 blah. I love a bitch that's into the same interests as me, but I also think it is important to keep people in your friendship circle that are different, that have different belief systems, that think differently from you. I don't think that that means that you should keep people in your life. It's not just a free pass for a Debbie Downer to be in your inner circle, okay? I love a chalant person, okay? I love somebody that is chalant about life. Be interested in life. I believe it is Trin Tondelier from the Wellness Cafe that talks about this. Be chalant, okay? Be so chalant. I cannot stand somebody that is nonchalant. I cannot stand a negative Nancy. I cannot stand somebody that is all like Debbie Downer all the time. Don't get me wrong. When your homies are down, this doesn't mean you leave them. That is also toxic, okay? I'm not saying if your friend is struggling with depression, you just walk away. I'm not saying that if your friend's having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, that means you're no longer homies, okay? I'm not saying that. But I am saying that if you notice it is impacting you to the point that you are not able to find the joy, the good, or the fulfillment in life that you're looking for, this is why they say you are who you hang with, okay? As much as I don't want to give my mother credit for anything in my life, she was right with that one. She used to tell me this a lot as a kid, you are who you hang with, which I do think that she meant it in the wrong way, which to me it was like, oh, if your friends smoke, you're going to smoke. No, bitch. If your friends smoke, it does not mean you're going to smoke. It means that you're going to pick up on their mannerisms, their ideologies. You're going to pick up on how they see the world, and they can also pick up on how you see the world. It just kind of depends on who is like in the receptive space, because I've also been that person. I have been the person. I firmly believe that when I am in my best self energy, when I am feeling life and feeling good like I am right now, I hope it's transferring. When I am like really feeling like juicy about life and so happy and so high on life, that energy transfers. And there are people in my life that'll be like, Chloe, you make me so hyper. You make me so happy when we're together. You have this, like, when I am my best self, I have high magnetism. And I don't know if that is because I have Jupiter in Leo and Jupiter's my ruling planet. That's what I like to tell myself, that like I do have high magnetism when I'm really like, when I am feeling good, my magnetism is off the charts. I think it's why I've also had so much social media success throughout my life. But regardless, the juicy energy or not, I feel like if impacting your ability, these people, these friends, these people you want to remove from your life, that you're like, if you already have if you have already asked the question, how do I remove this person from my life? That should already be a telltale sign to you that they shouldn't be in your life if you're already thinking about it. And if it is keeping you from having that like juicy, vibrant energy, because every time you say something positive, or every time you see the silver lining, or you experience or express joy, especially if you experience and express joy and your friend just puts you down, or your friend makes a comparison that puts you down, that to me is a humongous red flag in relationships. And if you don't clock your friend with it and they don't apologize, or like it doesn't get resolved, because we are grown-ups and we do need to be having conversation to try to fix things. Unfortunately, it's a very sad part of life. We would all just love if like we could just read each other's minds telepathically and everything could resolve, but sometimes you do have to stand up for yourself and be like, hey, you know what, blah blah blah, you know. But if you notice that your energy is always being impacted, it could be because you are spending a lot of time around people that do not share your ideology, that do not share your thirst for life. And somebody that has thirst for life, or like vibrant energy in your circle, if you're that person, being with another person that has that is life changing. It is life transformational to be around other people that feel that same way, versus when you put yourself in a room with somebody that feels completely the opposite. And again, I do feel like it's a very delicate balance, because like I said, when your homie's having a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, like it's not that you're just supposed to leave them. You don't leave a man down, okay? But I do think sometimes the person is just not for you anymore. If the if your ideologies are different, if your lifestyles are different, if what you believe is different, if every time you're communicating it's an argument, if there's a lot of things going unsaid, if there's like, and you can kind of tell when those things are happening, because usually it happens over time, at least in my experience, especially in my 20s. I had numerous times that this happened to me with other people, and I was not mature enough to have the conversations I needed to have. But numerous times I feel like this happened to me. And eventually the relationship would just end, usually because I would decide to up and remove myself, which toxic trait. I will tell you, I will be the first person to tell you that is something I have had to work on in my life, is to not be that person. Because I think I get to a point where like I hit my upper limit and I'm just like, dude, I can't stand your ass anymore. I can't handle the negativity. I need to go and be happy. And being like, I also think that I am very much a verbal processor. And so if I'm constantly having conversations that lead down a negative spiral, I'm just very susceptible to taking that in. And it makes it hard for me to like believe in anything good ever. So I do feel like, you know, keeping people around, it just isn't keeping people around that you know are not good for you and they are not putting you in your ideal version of your life. Like it's either people are either a lesson or a blessing. And sometimes, unfortunately, the people that you thought were blessings end up being lessons. And it sucks. It is a fact of life. It probably, I almost guarantee you, it will happen to you during your lifetime, probably more than once. You will meet somebody that you think is a blessing and they will end up being a lesson. And it's normal. I think it is a normal part of the human experience. But I want to look at this other page in the book that's right next to this five people. And it says, work your light. Write down the names of the five people you currently spend the most time with. So, this is like a really good exercise if you're concerned about this in your life, what I'm talking about. It says, do these five people represent encouraging your biggest self? Do they make you expand or contract? Do they make you feel free or trapped? Do they inspire you or bore you? Do they challenge you to grow? Do they support you? Are they happy when you win? Do they believe and value similar things? Do they encourage you to shine? Are they aligned with the life you are consciously creating? And I have to tell you, in my experience, there have been some friends that would meet like half of that criteria, maybe. And then I would be like, in not currently, like if I wrote down, like, let me think about that a second, actually. Cut the camera. I can honestly tell you The 5 people that I speak to the most in my life right now, they do this for me. They do this for me. I believe I do this for them. And it took me a long time to get here. I also want to say to those of you that have the energy of like, oh, well, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt this person, blah, 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 blah. You're just keeping them in your life because they have been with you for a long time or a long season. What if you letting go actually sets them free? What if you letting go actually makes room in their life? And like, you'll never know, most likely. But what if you letting go actually was the thing that was keeping them from making the friends that they actually need to make? What if you letting go actually is a gift and a blessing, and they are able to go on and transform their life in a way that they couldn't have done next to you because you're just too different? You're too different of people and you're not going in the same direction. I cannot tell you the amount of times I feel like my energy has been snuffed out by somebody that called them my friend. And and also a family member. Oh my God. The original candle fucking outer. What do you call those things? Candle snuffer? The original candle snuffer in my life, my mother. Absolutely. The original candle snuffer in my life, my mother, 100%. That's just what we should call her. She's the candle snuffer. It's a miracle that I even turned out to be who I am today with the amount of fuckery that went on with that. But I say that because when you allow people to dim your light and dim your shine and dim your sparkle, and like when you are in your biggest point of magnetism and somebody immediately snuffs that out, it also like it hurts you, but also like why would you want to be attached to people like that? Set them free and set yourself free. And I'm not saying you need to burn bright hot all the time because that's how you melt your shit down too fast, but like when you are feeling yourself and in your energy, the right people that love you, support you, and are for you are going to be attracted to your flame and want to sit with it, not put it out, not blow it out, not douse it with water. They are going to want to sit down and just be in awe and be inspired by you. And like my best friend in the entire world, that girl is killing life right now. And I'm just like, bitch, you are amazing. You are such an inspiration. Like, I just want to bask in the flame that you are and just be like, wow. I just want to like hold your flame up higher. In fact, it's funny too because she's probably listening to this podcast and like, girl, I'm holding that flame up as high as I can. Snaps for you. You are fucking eating at life, but eating at life in a good way, eating at life affectionate, eating at life in the best way. Bestie, ultimately, when you set these people free, not only do you make room for them to grow in new ways, but you make room for yourself to grow in new ways. Like, I think about how I used to spend my day to day life in some of these relationships, like talking to them. And when I would like get off the phone, I would just be in such a mood, or I would be more anxious or more depressed. And now I feel like because all of the relationships that are the closest to me are ones that are supportive, that are fulfilling, that like really even like newer relationships that I have made, I feel like are just so fulfilling and like supportive in this new way. I have such a lust for life. The conversations that I have on a regular basis are so much more positive, so much more enlightening, so much more happy. And it's crazy. And I know I said this in a previous episode of my podcast. It's this one. If you're watching the video, I will link it down below if you're not watching the video and you just want to go find it on Spotify or YouTube. But I thought I'll tell like I don't remember which episode number it is, but it was like a little while ago. It was like basically like how to build your dream life when it feels like the world is falling apart. And it's kind of the same way. Like you are the master of your mindset. Your mindset is everything. When I think back to how I was spending my time when I was in relationships with people that actually were not in alignment with me, and that's not to say that they were never in alignment with me. I think that's something to know about any relationship you enter. A lot of times the relationship is in alignment with you when you start out, but we're people that evolve over time. And sometimes we evolve in different directions, but we still try to cling to the past, to people, to experiences that served us in the past because we're afraid of the new. And the thing is, when we actually let go, whether we have a conversation, things naturally drift, however that letting go process happens, in my experience, what you're going to find is your life actually opens up to more of yourself. You open up for room. You open up to room for the right people to come in, but you also open up, in my experience, I am such a yapper girl. If I'm not recording or doing something that requires all of my focus, I'm on the phone. I am a yapper girl. I use my phone. My phone dies at the end of every day. Like, I am on my phone all the time. When I talk to my sister, I'm on the phone for 3 hours. When I talk to my bestie, I'm on the phone for 3 hours. Like, I am a yapper girl. I love talking. I love to talk to other people. I love people's wisdom. I love their stories. I love getting to know somebody else. And I love when they get to know me. Like, I also just love sharing. Like, with ADHD, I love like sharing my task list and having a body double or somebody to talk to while I do it. It just makes it so much easier. But if you're talking to the wrong person, this can like really negatively impact your life. And now that I'm just like only speaking to people that, as I've been healing, y'all know I've been in therapy since like September. I've been on a massive healing journey this year. I have been talking to all the right people that are very supportive of the journey, really understand where I am, and have seen me like start to come back to myself in new ways. And it's just really like, I just think about how I used to spend my days when I was talking to the wrong people. And it was like, this is going to sound so sad, but it's the truth. And like, I had some trauma I had to work through. I feel like it was like I didn't come alive until these other people paid attention to me. Like, I didn't come to life. I didn't like have a day or have a plan or have a mission or a dream until these other people talked to me. I like wasn't worthy of moving forward. And I know that's like a really dark thing to say, but that was like how bad I feel like things had become for me. And that's through my own shit, my own past trauma, my own experience with anxious attachment, especially, and healing through that, going through a healing journey of like not doing limerence with people anymore, having boundaries, putting myself first, using that do not disturb on my phone and meaning it. I've used do not disturb. Like, I feel like I went through a time period in my 20s where I was very self focused and I used do not disturb all the time. And then I don't know what happened. Maybe it was like post 2020. I got really anxious and like it was panic attacks. It was the panic attacks. It was the mental health problems. I went through a period where I would turn that on, but I'd be checking my phone constantly. And now I feel like I'm back in a space of like, what do I want to do? What feels good to me? What is the next best choice I could make? Where do I want to feel fulfilled today? And like, oftentimes that does come along with like having other people engage in my life and me engage in their lives. But I feel like, in a big way, like, I just want y'all to know from somebody that has been there, getting out of relationships that do not serve you, sometimes it gives you like this whole new perspective on life. And it's like the weight that you didn't even realize you were carrying just dissipates. And you're just like, damn, I didn't even know how heavy that was. I didn't know how bad that was. And not saying that it's like always the other person's fault. In fact, sometimes it's your fault. Like, often in my case, I feel like it was my fault. Like, sometimes it's your fault for not realizing that you've built your life around other people so much that are not healthy for you, that are not good for you. And it's become like a toxic relationship. And basically, I say this because I've been in numerous toxic relationships before. And I'm not saying that the other people in question were toxic. I'm saying that I became a toxic version of myself in these relationships. And it was out of a lot of self-shame and not really understanding my own value or my own worth. And I feel like now I'm coming back to a place where I'm understanding my value, I'm understanding my worth, and I'm recognizing what like a great person I am to like be friends with. And I don't say that with a big head. I mean that like I hope my friends feel that way about themselves too, because I think it is an honor to be close with the people that I am close with genuinely. And anyways, My point to bringing this up is that I can't give you the direct path on how to phase somebody out of your life, how to cut somebody off. Whether you have a conversation, whether you go just kind of a natural progression of a phase away, whether you go completely ghost, all of those things are ultimately up to you. My point with making this episode was that I just wanted to inspire you to think about friendships a little bit differently and think about how, in the grand scheme of things, sometimes holding on to people isn't just bad for you, it's also bad for them. And it's it doesn't leave room in either of your lives for growth. Sometimes letting go is a gift to both parties. And you are worth having the right people around you. And if you feel like you don't right now, give yourself the freedom of making space for those people to come in because they will. I can promise you that. They will. Oh my goddess, girly pops. Welcome to the Apple Girl Corner. What even is the tea? First of all, the bangs are banging, okay? If you want to see how I cut these, if you're watching the video, um, I have a whole vlog of cutting my own bangs and what a disaster this was. I don't know if I like them. I apologize to my hairdresser in advance because I should have let her handle this. They look a little crazy, but I think I did okay. But yeah, it was a nightmare. I documented this for a vlog that if it's not already out, it will be out this next week. Girl, just check my Patreon, okay? And also, let's take a brief moment now to talk about that. If you're not following me on Patreon, I just want to let you know that everybody who is amazing is over there. And it is the best place to support this show, support me as a small creator. Every single month, we do a tarot and astro report. We usually have a pick a card. I vlog. We now have a book club where we're currently reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Next month, we're doing our first self help book for the month of January. I'm really excited because I am a self help girly. And I think it's one that you're not going to want to miss. So if you want to be part of the book club, make sure you join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/, Chloe Taylor. And the link for that will be down below. So join me, help me out. Would love to have you over there. And yeah, girly pop, what is the tea? Okay, first of all, we are drinking. Get yourself a little bevy, okay? We are drinking a cherry slush Alani Nu. I have been really back into these. My caffeine game has been a little strong. I am fully back on board. Anxiety be damned. We don't know her anymore. The therapy is therapizing. It's going so well that like I can drink caffeine like a normal person again for the first time in like 4 years. So I've really been enjoying the mini Alanis because I just feel like nobody needs 200 milligrams of caffeine. These ones are 100. So I really like, they have a holiday edition out right now. And then this one, I like the cherry slush. They usually have this one out all the time. And I think my favorite anytime flavor is probably Cosmic Stardust. And I mean, Witch's Brew, when you can get it, is the best flavor. It's elite. But that's like only during Halloween. So, anyways, I digress. Um, girls, gays, theys. Are y'all watching Stranger Things? This is not going to be spoiler free, so if you haven't watched new Stranger Things, I will put a thing. I will timestamp the Apple Girl Corner if you want to skip spoilers of Stranger Things, okay? But they're gay, right? Will Byers and Mike Wheeler, they're gay, right? Byler is about to be made canon. Like, listen, I was a Malevolent stan, okay? Up until probably like season 3 and I wouldn't say that I'm like into the Byler fandom where Byler, by the way, is Byers, Will Byers, Wheeler, Mike Wheeler. It's their like ship term, and then Malevolent is Mike and 11. But they're gay boys, right? Definitely, I think we can say that Will probably is. I feel like that is very easy to spot if you've watched the new season. But I've watched like so many fan theories. My favorite person is she goes by the lesbian mind flayer on YouTube. She's like my favorite for deep dives on Byler stuff. It's just very like she talks about all the times that like Mike is depicted with a closet, and I'm just like, oh my God. I think the thing that convinced me that they are like end game, that Byler is gonna be canon, is at the end of season 3. 11 goes to like tell Mike she loves him and give him a kiss. They're standing in front of a closet, which I think is hilarious. And we know that the Duffer Brothers, the creators of this show, we know that they love Easter eggs. They love doing stuff like this. Like even from season 1, they had implanted um the mind flayer. Like you see part of him in a photo in season 1. So like they love doing stuff like this where you can look back and go, holy mother of shits, that was here the whole time. So I think it is really interesting. But anyways, season 3, 11 goes to be like, Mike, I love you. And Mike, standing in front of a closet, they both are. Mike is just like still. He like doesn't kiss her back. He doesn't like, and then 11 just like walks away and he just looks stunned. And to me, it looks like he's fucking confused. And I think it is sexuality confusion. It is the gay panic. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be gay panic because, I mean, maybe, I don't really know how gay panic works. Um, I myself am a bisexual woman, but I don't know. Like, does gay panic, somebody in the comments tell me, does gay panic only happen if like you see somebody really hot that you would be gay for and it's like, oh my God, gay panic? Or is it like you've had an experience that tells you you're probably not into that sex? And like, is that also gay panic? Or is like it just being gay and panicking? Like, what constitutes gay panic? I feel like I'm not gay enough for this conversation, even though I myself am like, I don't have to make the choice. I like girls and I like boys. Um, Anyways, I really feel, and this is my prediction for the season, I do think Byler is going to be made canon. I think that like something is going to happen there. I also think, and I don't know this, I don't know anything about that. Like, I have no special information, but I think Eleven's going to die. Like, I just feel like at the end of the show, if they defeat the Mind Flayer and everything like gets better, right? I think that they'll kill her because she would have no purpose. Like, her having these like superpowers, yeah, it would be a nice sentiment if she just got to carry on and live her life, but she would have no purpose if all of this is done. If the big bad is defeated, like her dying would make sense, in my opinion. Yes, it would be very sad. No, I don't want her to die, but I feel like they're gonna kill her. If they kill Steve, I'm done. Like, you know how when like I've actually heard this from more than one person. My bestie talks about this too, that in The Walking Dead, a lot of people loved Glenn so much that when he died, and if you didn't know that, I'm sorry, the show has been going on for forever, like spoilers. When Glenn died, so many people were like, I'm done. When he's dead, I'm done. That was like my best friend also felt this way. I saw it in a few different online forums for The Walking Dead, but I feel that way about Steve, even though the show is like about to be over anyways. If they kill Steve, I'm fucking done. Like, Steve is my favorite character. Probably, I would say Robin as well. If they kill Robin, I would also be real pissed off. Um, and I'm just going to say it. I hope Nancy doesn't pick anyone. Okay. I hope that she picks herself, but because she is a baby, she does not need to pick either of those boys. I can say this as a 34-year-old woman who got married in my early 20s. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my spouse. I'm so grateful for the person that I get to be with. Literally, I was just telling him this week that have fallen in love with him for a second time in my life. We can talk about that another time because I think it was a really monumentous moment in my relationship and in my life, like as a milestone. But um it's not that, but I do think sometimes I wish I'd experienced a little bit more before locking myself down. And I just think that that's like a really important distinction for human life. And I think it's a really important distinction that like Nancy is so young. And I know like maybe in that time it was different, but it's only like the 80s. It's not that like, it's not that removed from present day. If she picks either of those boys, it better be Steve. But I kind of hope she picks no one. I kind of hope she picks herself and doesn't pick either of them. But if she picks Jonathan Byers, no. I know that they're together in real life. That is not her man, her man, her man. I don't care what anybody says. Steve Harrington is her man. And if she picks Jonathan Byers, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. I'd be so mad. We'll talk again at Christmas time to see how all of that played out. But like, y'all, I am so into Stranger Things right now. You know how like I love Harry Potter. Okay. I love Harry Potter the way that I have Harry Potter stuff in my house. I have the books. I have some swag. I have a bunch of Lego sets. I love Harry Potter as an aesthetic. I love Harry Potter and like all of that like all of it. I love it. Not so much J.K. Rowling. Um, I'm trying to think of like aesthetic, like things that I love so much that I own them. Barbie. Okay. I love Barbie so much. I love Barbie's aesthetic. I love Stranger Things so much that I think in my future home, I want a Stranger Things Christmas tree, like themed. I want to get like one of those demogorgons for the top. I want to get like ornaments. I want the big Christmas lights that they use in the first season. I am like really into Stranger Things. I haven't yet, but I was kind of thinking about trying to secure tickets to go and see the finale in theaters because the finale is playing in some theaters on New Year's Eve. But anyways, I'm like I am so into Stranger Things. I want to like own things. Like I feel like there's a difference between really liking something and liking it so much that like you want it on a t-shirt. You want a Christmas ornament. You want the like book that goes along with the first season. You want to own the seasons physically. Like I think that's where me and Stranger Things are getting. Like I almost want to start rewatching the series again in preparation for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day when the next part of the series comes out. I am like into Stranger Things. I was actually just looking today into getting me and my husband matching shirts for the finale. They have a bunch online, but I really like this Steve Harrington one because I think of all the characters, I love Steve, I love Robin, and probably gosh, what is his name? Dusty Bun. I also really like Dustin's character. I feel like those are probably like my favorite characters. Steve and Robin are definitely like at the top though. And like I said, if they kill Steve, I'm done. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be like Stranger Things is over party if they kill off Steve. I will have no sympathy. He is I feel like Eddie as well. I was very sad when they killed Eddie. I think most people were. I think he was a cool character and I would have liked for him to not die. Girly pops. Something else that I am just like, oh my God. I I know I always tell y'all, I'm not locking in. I'm not doing 75 hard. And I told you in the last episode, when Mars hits my rising, when it is my first house season, when Sag season starts, I might feel differently. Boy hootie do I feel differently. I'm not doing 75 hard. I just don't believe in that personally. I maybe 75 soft, but I am locked the fuck in. Okay. My health journey, I'm not going to say too much about it because I want to talk about it in the future, but like I am locked in. And all the changes that I have made, I have like an insane amount of energy. Like, I have more energy than I feel like I have had in years of my life. I am just like cracked on life. I am happy. I am positive. I am upbeat. I don't have any fucking brain fog. I am just like blah every single day in a good way, affectionate, affectionate. I am just like all over the place, ecstatic, excited, happy, positive, in love with life, loving where I'm going, loving what I'm doing, enjoying the journey. I have my spark back. I also feel like it's because I have a project. Like I told y'all in the last episode that I feel like when I don't have a project, or maybe it was a couple episodes ago, when I don't have a project, I feel lost. And I feel like my health journey is my current project. I am my own current project. Not in a gross way, in a like everything about me is wrong, but in a I have goals. I want to achieve them. I want to obtain them. Here's the pathway I'm going to take, and we'll see where it goes. And I am just like, I have so much energy in my day to day life. I am shook. And I don't feel like the changes that I have made have been so crazy. Currently, something I will tell you that I am getting back into as of today. I need y'all to ask me next weekend in the podcast. I need you to comment and hold my ass accountable, okay? I need y'all to comment next week and say, Chloe, if I don't say it in the Apple Girl Corner, I need you to go, Chloe, how's that workout routine going? How's that workout routine going? Are you doing it? Because I really want to work up to walking 4 miles a day. I want to walk 4 miles a day. And yes, that is a lot. However, it is not. If you are walking at a high pace, if you are doing it daily, you can knock that out if you build up to it. You can do that walk in an hour or less. And it's not a run. You do not like, you can do a walk like that in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And currently, I could not do that. My mile pace, I think, is like 35 minutes, maybe higher because I'm very off. I haven't been working out the way that I feel like I was a few months ago. I could not do that walk in an hour and a half at this point. But I really, this week, I want to build up to starting to walk a mile. And then from there, we'll work on speed, we'll work on stamina. Eventually, though, I want to be walking 4 miles a day. And I really believe I can do it. I believe I can do anything I set my mind to. I know I can do it. In fact, I know I can do it. I trust myself so much right now based on all of the things I've been changing and having success with. I know I can do it. So hold me accountable. Okay. Next week, be like, Chloe, how's that first mile of your walk going? How's that going? Are you doing it? Is it happening? Because I need the accountability. I honestly really need like a workout buddy. uh, I need to turn the BFF app back on and go look for somebody that wants to like get into hot girl walking because that is just something that my life really needs right now. And even though we're in the dead of winter, I don't think that means that like movement should completely cease. Like, yes, I think it is good to rest up a little more when the nights are coming on earlier, but I also think that our bodies were designed to be moved. And like, I think my biggest focus right now, if I could be so honest and so for real, what has kicked my ass is I just don't want to be diabetic by the time I'm 40. And like, I'm 34. I do, like I would not be surprised if I am pre-diabetic. I don't know that for certain, but I do feel like I have some symptoms. I also have PCOS, I have insulin resistance. Like I'm already predisposed to getting it, and I don't want to be on medication for the rest of my life. And that's no shade to any of y'all that have diabetes. It is just something that if I can avoid it, I would not like to have it. And I know that the only way to work on that is like to work on taking care of my body, my health, moving more, working on getting my period to come back. That's a whole other thing. There's like steps that have to be taken. And I don't know, I just feel like it really kicked me into high gear. Like I feel about my health journey right now, the way that I felt when I went vegan in 2017. I'm no longer vegan. I haven't been vegan for a long time, but I was vegan, strict vegan for like 6 years. And a lot of my PCOS symptoms were in remission at that time. I have no desire to be vegan again. That's not a conversation I want to have right now. But when I went vegan, it was like an overnight transformation. And I just didn't look back. I changed all my foods overnight. I didn't look back and I was not depressed about it. I didn't feel like I was pushing myself uphill to do it. It was just like, this is what we're doing. This is the direction we're going. This feels correct for me right now. I'm excited to learn how to cook in this new way. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not vegan. I don't want to talk about my dietary habits right now. I'm just not ready. It's too new. It's too new for me to talk about, and I, at this point in time, know that I will not be able to handle criticism about it. Like, and once I have like my bearings about me, once I feel like I have worked on it and like I'm feeling good, I will talk about it. But I'm the kind of person that when something is new, if there is any level of criticism that comes up about it, even from a stranger on the internet, it will like affect me negatively. And I'm a human being who gets affected by that. Like, so I'm not ready to talk about it because I'm not ready to be criticized. Even if I'm not criticized and everybody is supportive, I know that putting yourself out there like this and being seen by so many people, I put myself at a position where I have a higher chance of being criticized. Even like, and dietary habits are such a no one size fits all, and it's not supposed to be, that everybody has something to say. So I'm not ready to talk about the changes that I have made specifically. Eventually I will. But right now, I'm just keeping that boundary intact because I'm still very much in the beginning stages. And I don't know, I'm just feeling like very, very good. And I seriously have more energy than I like. I don't know how to explain to y'all that I didn't realize how tired I was all the time. Even when I would film this podcast, I would like hit a wall at like an hour in of recording. That just doesn't exist anymore. Like even now, I think I've been recording for over an hour, but once I like edit it, it's probably going to be less. I've been recording for like over an hour. I don't feel that. I'm not like, oh, I'm so tired. I need to go take a nap. And like I could literally go to sleep. I just feel like I have insane amounts of energy. I feel so good about the changes that I'm making. And can't wait to share that with you in the future. Maybe like honestly, I would love to like talk about that like 3 months from now. Like really give it like a fair shake and then be like, "Hey, this is what I did." But we shall see. I'm very locked in on my health goals is all you need to know. I'm super locked in on my health goals. I'm super locked in on like just really taking care of myself and doing so unapologetically. And I feel like just so many of my needs are being met. I don't know how to like, from a place of having a lot of my needs not being met, whether it was by myself or needs from others, I feel like my needs are being very met right now. I feel like my social bar is being met, which that one's a hard one for me. I feel like my health goals are being met. I feel like the only thing that's kind of off for me is, girl, I have completely fallen off. Completely fallen off my 5 a.m. routine. Girl, we were a 5 a.m. girl for like a month, if that. Um, my sleep schedule has been up and down for the past, like, I don't even know, at least a week, but my sleep schedule has been messed up. I dealt with a little bit of chronic pain this last week, and that really messed things up because I slept all day one day on and off, but like my sleep has kind of been a little weird. I'm getting good sleep when I sleep, but sometimes I don't go to bed until like 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's crazy. Oh my God, something else I need to tell you about. Oh my God. I read I read Between Two Kings, which was the sequel to Kiss of the Basilisk. If y'all are looking for a horny good time, okay, you love smut, you're looking for something horny to read that's just like very, very, very smutty. Like from the first chapter in the first book, like things are going down, okay? And the second book is the same way. The first page, smut. These books are intense. They're long. Like I think the first I read on my Kindle, so I think the pages are a little different, but I think the second book was almost 500 pages. The first book was pretty thick as well. Smut in almost every chapter. The first book I think was better, which is Kiss of the Basilisk. The second book, I do wish things had ended differently. I'm not going to like say what happens, but I do wish things had ended differently, but I am not mad. A lot of people online are really pissed off about the ending of the sequel. I wish it had gone differently, but I'm not mad. I think that she is with the right person. I will say that she is with the right person. I am sad that it kind of seems like there isn't going to be another book though. Like I think it seems like it's just a duet, and I loved this series so much, I wanted a third. So I do feel like the first and second kind of tied themselves up though, and I think the series might be over. Y'all will have to tell me if y'all know if you've read it. But yeah, I finished that book last night. I liked it. It was, like I said, it was super horny. If you're looking for just a really smutty read, I honestly think these two books were probably like the smuttiest books I've ever read. And they are unhinged. Like if you are not okay with some weird shit, it's they're unhinged. Like you're going to be reading this book, looking at the walls like, bitch, are you seeing this? Are you reading what I'm reading? Like that's the love, like the girls who know. But yeah, super smutty, super fun. I liked how it ended. A lot of people didn't. According to like Reddit and stuff, a lot of people were pissed. Anyways, I feel like that's all I have for the Apper Girl Corner this week. I hope y'all are doing so well. I hope you're having the best holiday season. I hope you're enjoying your time, making new memories. And yeah, please check out my Patreon. If you want to follow me somewhere, follow my Instagram. Y'all, if you know what I'm talking about when you read smut and you look at the walls, like, are you seeing this when there's a really like spicy scene? Can you just leave me like a spicy pepper emoji down below? I'm just trying to see something. I'm just trying to see if the other girlies know what I'm talking about. But, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I love and appreciate you. Please do not forget when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And follow your plan and not your mood, okay? Let's lock in. Let's lock in a little bit. Lock in light mode. Maybe next week we'll talk a little bit more about what that means because I think I was a little confused about lock in season and I need to take back some things that I said. So maybe next week if that's what y'all want to hear about. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go. Bye.